Where's
The rest
Arden
of
go?
you seem to, or Zyra, and maybe Ornan, sees 1092 apologize to his weapon.
it,
It didn't like that. I don't know how it didn't like that.
Ricalo, upon hearing this, you
Yep.
have a history with magic, so you also have a history with knowing the difference between a magic weapon and a
It's sentient.
sentient weapon.
Yep.
So 1092 is making strange comments about his maul. Just keep that in mind.
Yep.
Now, also remember that his maul is Order of the Hammer. So, just with everybody knowing what Order of the Hammer is, there's a very slim chance that this is evil. But it's still being talked about as if it has feeling.
Wait, hold on a moment. Right, I potentially have an evil weapon. That's not terrifying.
No, not at all.
Well, like I said, knowing the Order of the Hammer the way that the whole group does, just through hearing about them in travel and 1092 and all of that, there is a very slim chance that it would be evil. However, it's just one of those things that sentient weapons make the hair on wizards' necks raise.
Oh yeah.
That's something that happened. So I wanted him to be sure that he
Lily
knew.
walks over to Ricalo. Ooh.
Just to let you know, the harpies have a total of, because I know people are going to want to loot them. They have a total of about 72 silver on them. And since Ricalo is usually the one that says, I'm going to loot the bodies,
Yep.
Ricalo, do me a favor and make. I'm going to have you make 2 investigation checks.
Okay.
And 1 constitution to see if he gets herpes.
There we go. Investigation, and you said 2 of them?
2 of them, yeah.
Okay. So a 17 and a 19.
Okay. So throughout that whole thing, you do find that one of them had a small bead-like thing. It's almost like a ball bearing, but it's definitely magic.
Okay. That I would be definitely interested in, but I am going to palm it while looting the bodies.
Did you say palm it or vomit?
Palm.
Palm it. Okay, I'm like, why are you throwing up?
Well, he did
Not
get
the
herpes.
first
I
time
found
I've
a
seen
ball
the
bearing.
character eat it here.
He did just get herpes.
Throws up. I hate ball bearings. Ugh. They make me so sick. Meanwhile, Grandius is going, ooh, a ball bearing.
No, while looting bodies, I would find something that my magical senses are tingling. I would
Magical
palm it.
senses are tingling.
So you're trying to hide it?
Essentially, yes.
Why is
Okay.
the turnover up?
And let me.
Everybody's doing their own thing. I'd be.
Yeah,
looting bodies.
but I am going to let everybody just make a quick perception check, and it's going to be versus your sleight of hand.
Everybody?
Well, maybe not. How about
Yes.
Grandius and Victor? The others are too far away.
I've seen Ornan. Ornan has seen Ricalo do this a couple of times, so I feel like he would be watching for it.
Right. Victor, since you matched, and Ornan and Victor, you see something. You're not sure what it is, but you definitely see him pocket something. And then you see the coin.
I just start smiling.
I roll my eyes a bit and go back to petting the birds. Oh, is there anything we need to look for? Because I still have these eagles for a little bit.
Possibly nests.
Yeah, we're looking for a nest.
I move a little closer to Ricalo and I try to send a message telepathically to like give the idea of what was that? It looked neat.
Being that I have the ring, I recognize that there is an intrusion in my mind, but Tony, I'll let you roll. Do I recognize where it is coming from?
Yeah, you're gonna know that it comes from Ornan.
Okay, in which case I would allow it.
Okay. So you get the feeling that Ornan is curious about the object that you found. So you know that Ornan at least knows that you have it. You don't know. If
And
anybody else-
then a follow-up idea. Secret safe with me.
Ricalo chuckles and gives him a smirk over his shoulder, and just relay something according to the lines of.
Doesn't work that way.
I wasn't certain.
Oh, yeah, no, it's one-way communication.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not like message.
Okay.
So.
Would I notice them sort of making eye contact?
No, well, I mean, you'd see Ricalo turn and smile at Ornan, but there would be no indication of why.
Right, but I just, you guys having a moment?
It looks like they're having a moment, but
No, I just wanted to mock them. Or
oh, I
specifically
see.
Ricalo.
Oh, you're not asking me, you're asking them.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I am sheepishly holding my weapon, by the way, just like the I didn't know I could offend it kind of way.
Right.
Not- Just letting him know he did good in the battle.
Why does my weapon feel that mad at me?
I will earn your trust.
Nests?
I have enjoyed traveling with all of you.
My dog
And I appreciate our first fight.
on blankets. He sleeps under them. So I turned around. There was no dog. There was just a bunch of blankets on the kid's bed. There's always a bunch of blankets on the kid's bed. So I kind of went, like this, trying to see if he was underneath them. Wow.
Oh, poor baby.
Oh,
Yes.
can I offend a weapon?
That depends, buddy.
Because he has no idea. He's never had a sentient weapon before.
Like he's a 6-year-old. That's brilliant.
He's confused. He's like, what? I've never had a sentient weapon before. I'm so confused.
That depends. It depends on the weapon. Yeah. It's possible, but it depends on the weapon. We'll have to look into this more later. It is new.
Okay.
Not to interrupt this, but clock is ticking.
Yes.
Do we want me to have the Eagles go look for harpy nests?
Yes, and we'll split up silver or throw it all into the community pot.
I think community pot would be
Community
better.
pot.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna send my boys
It, Tony,
to go look.
Yes.
what's the going rate for being able to get greater restoration cast on yourself?
Greater restoration?
Yeah, it's a level 5 cleric spell.
It's like 400 at the temple, wasn't it? 200?
It was
1,000.
1,000, I think.
Because we did it to get rid of Dane. It was 1,000.
Yeah, that's I'm curious because
Yeah, we certainly got rid of Dane.
and and Tony, I'm curious what's I'm curious about the average cost and availability of that spell as like a spell scroll. Would I be able to cast it on myself if I had it as a spell?
I believe a scroll can be used by just about anybody. There are some DMs that say you have to be a magic user to use a scroll, but in old school D&D, rogues had the ability to use magic items.
Yep.
It was a skill. So as far as I'm concerned, I don't like the idea that only casters can use scrolls and even wands and shit like that, because why make them if only casters can use them?
And what are the limitations if it's a spell level above my ability?
What it's gonna happen is it's gonna be a D20 roll with a DC set, D20 roll plus your Arcana ability, if any.
Okay.
And the difficulty is going to be set harder and harder depending on the level of the spell.
Okay. Well, it would be 5th level Greater Restoration just by itself. So.
And you're a 6th level character, but a 5th level spell is usually cast by a
9th level.
9th level character, right? So there would be a pretty high DC, but it is not impossible.
And my Arcana is +4, so.
There you go.
Or you could just wait until I reach like 3 more levels and we should be good to go.
I think I can cast it.
So out of game, Ornan is going to have some kind of addiction to Greater Restoration.
Joy. There's
Interesting.
another thing, I suppose.
Right?
Also, I'm gonna have my eagles look for the nests.
Okay. Have your eagles roll a
Perception?
make fire check.
What?
Have them make an investigation check because they're looking for something specific.
Should they roll separately or?
Yes.
Okay.
Have them fly in a couple of different directions.
All right.
Oh, that.
I heard it.
Kitty cat.
That's my cat.
Kitty cat.
Yeah, Charlie's behind me in that orange blanket, and I didn't know he was there. Whack the poor dog. So it's investigation, separate ones per eagle.
Unfortunately, they're bad. at
Yeah,
things.
it's there. They did not find the nest. And if anybody, everybody make a. Either a nature check, yeah. Anybody who wants to make a nature check.
I will.
Okay, 15.
I'm not
Now,
normally nature oriented.
His
Oh.
his birds, would they have any kind of an advantage, considering that I had already been out looking for nests, and I had
No.
spotted a couple of like the caves and stuff?
No, because you didn't tell them,
I don't think
Yeah, we
you
needed them
could.
to a fight.
and they wouldn't be able to understand you anyway.
They do speak common.
They
Which is
do,
why
okay.
They understand.
Oh, that's
common.
right. Yeah. Ornan, you are the only one who gets this. It was a DC just to let everybody know why 1092 didn't get it. Okay. It was a DC of 17. Ornan, harpies. It was so hard not to say herpes. Harpies have a rather large. Let me make sure of this.
Madala oblongula.
Yes, they have a large Madabla alangula. What you Usipical papillary.
Dula Gata.
Medulla oblongata.
There we go. I'm like, I can't say that word.
Brain stem, I think. Part of the brain stem.
It's
Anyway.
the part that controls aggression.
Yeah.
Ah.
I haven't
What?
named one. Get it?
Alligators
Get it?
are ornery because they got all them teeth and no tooth.
Right? Okay, so harpies have a large territory, and they tend to roam in small packs. They also have an alluring song. These ones came directly at you, which, believe it or not, is unusual for harpies. Normally, they lure you to them with a song that does a sort of charm thing to it. And you go to this beautiful music and get eaten alive. Kind of like Nim.
Or sirens.
Or Siren. So
Did anyone hear them singing?
No. They just came out.
No, I was asking aloud in character.
Oh.
They should have been singing. Did anyone hear them singing?
Nope. They just
Nope.
heard them screeching.
They would have lured us in with song, and if they're not singing, something is strange here.
Ornan, you get the idea that if they just outright attacked, you're probably somewhere very close to a nest.
Oh, the nest must be nearby. They weren't luring, they were protecting.
I respond, isn't that sirens?
Same. Sirens, harpies, nymphs. A lot of creatures use song to bring people in.
To hear a harpy's song is to hear a music more beautiful than anything else in the world. A traveler that succumbs to the entrancing effect that the singing of that singing is compelled to blunder towards its source. A harpy sometimes charms victims before it attacks, but a more effective use of its song is to lure prey over cliffs, into the bogs and quicksand, or into deadly pits. Creatures trapped or incapacitated then become easy targets for the harpy's wrath. Also, you know that they don't usually attack unless they have a clear advantage.
Well, they didn't really have much of one here.
Unless there's a nest nearby we don't see.
Also, if a fight turns against the harpy, it lacks the cunning to adapt and will usually flee. These ones did not.
Can we inspect the bodies, see if there's any sort of markings
no.
of magical residue or...
It's very unusual behavior for harpies.
I'm gonna say that Ricalo already did a search.
At this point, I'm gonna just go over by the other side of the caravan and do a quick identify spell on the bead.
Yep. This, go ahead, well, it's just instantaneous.
I need to remove the spell.
This is a binding. Basically, if you hold it up to somebody, focus on them, and say manners, this will bind them in, like, metal cord. It flies from your hand, touches the person, and binds them.
Okay.
To unbind them, it basically binds their arms to their side and binds their leg. So they're kind of wrapped in all around.
Is this a one-use item, or is this...
No. If you concentrate on it again and say manners a second time, the binding releases flies back at you.
Okay.
The bead basically becomes the binding, and the binding becomes the bead in an instantaneous flash of magic. But
Okay.
it is a common slaver and trappers and bounty hunters tool called mana. It was to you warning, like, you've got to be close to the nest. There's no way they would have attacked unless you are really close.
If not the nest being nearby, something else. We should investigate more closely. We should pan out and search.
Yep.
Yep.
I agreed.
I am definitely with you, Ornan, on that.
Out of game, are we on a common travel route through here where we're at?
You are not. Let me bring you back to the map here, and I'll
Because
show
they're saying that harpies are attacking people in a specific area, but it is on a well-traveled route.
If
Yeah.
you go to the map up to the canyon area near Corona, between Corona
Holy
and
crap.
Wilsaken. Hang on,
Right.
before you start drawing pictures.
No, I'm using the direction tool.
Let me get this arrow out of the way. You see that black line right there between Corona and Wilsaken?
Yes.
That is the travel area that's cut into the cavern, into the side of the cliff.
Okay.
And it's carved from Wilsaken at the bottom to Corona at the top. The rest of the desert, as you see here, is actually a clear, sheer cliff, except for between Wynwood and Eaton, which is right here. There's another path cut into the cliff here. So this river here flows from up here down into Lake Linder past Hogwarts. So this is all sheer cliff. So you guys are about here, maybe a mile or 2 or 3 away from the path.
Okay. So we're near a cliff. It's kind of like a place that harpies would like anyway because of the cliffside effect, being able to drop people off the cliff or lure them off of it. We're near the cliff and we got attacked in an unusual fashion by these things. So, but we're heading toward the cliff.
You are actually, I'm going to say you're near the cliff.
Okay.
Just for my visual picture, are we at the bottom of the cliff or at the top of the cliff? Okay.
So I would convey that the cliffside coming up is a terrain feature harpies would like based on how they lure their victims. And the nest would be probably somewhere between where we are and where they flew in from. Did they fly from the cliff toward us or from behind us toward us? Or the side?
They flew from this direction, but they flew from like miles away.
That seems weird to me. Oh, but you said their territories are vast.
Yes.
But I would think you'd think that you'd be really close, much closer to a nest if they were that threatening.
Right, but what you're getting, Ornan, you and you alone, is that the nest must be somewhere along along this cliff face.
Okay. Okay.
But
And that would make sense based on my knowledge.
where Ricalo was looking was in like one small spot. And I say that because he wouldn't have been able to walk this whole cliff
No,
in less than a day.
right. I can only hold it for an hour.
Oh, the cliff is the red line.
Yeah.
I thought the cliff was like the line, like along
No,
here.
this is the edge of the edge of the desert off of the cliff. Okay.
Okay.
When it gets to here, this is sheer cliff above this.
Okay,
You
so
can't get from here to here. You'd have to take this passage here, or this passage down here. The rest of it is just sheer cliff,
Okay.
which is
Okay.
why you had to go to Wilsaken before you came into the desert.
Okay. So we're heading down the pathway from the high point to the low point, and the nest would be somewhere along that lower point, but along that red.
It would be, well, yeah, it would be somewhere along the lower part of the cliff, north of Wilsaken, or it could also be. It could also be on this peak here. Because
Okay.
of the closeness of where you guys were when you were attacked.
Okay.
Your thought would be that it would be closer to that line.
Okay. Okay.
Right there.
All right. So I'd convey that to the group, and my understanding from what they were telling me is that we were collecting harpy feathers, but also aware of harpies attacking an area.
Yes, what's happening is the harpies are attacking, but not the same way they attack you. They're attacking in their normal manner along this carved road.
Okay.
Like, if you're on the road, then there's sheer cliff here and here. You have to go up to here before you can traverse onto this cliff.
Okay. I got you.
And they're attacking along the road within the new cliff, I guess, created by carving a road through from Wilsaken to Corona.
Okay. So they're taking advantage of a bottleneck.
They're taking advantage of a bottleneck. Which means also to you, Ornan, because of a 20, that they may have a nest in this area or in this area at the opening of the hole, because they're taking advantage of this as the bottleneck as a whole thing. But again, they're using their siren song and their usual means of attack. They didn't to you guys because of your position.
Okay. We should proceed carefully, listen for the music, and be ready to cover our ears if we hear it.
I do.
Some of you are far too pretty to be captured by harpies. It'd be terrible if you were eaten. He gestures towards the elves.
Does that include me?
You're an elf.
Anyone that's an elf.
Anyone that's an elf.
Anyone with an elven bloodline. He.
Okay, cool.
We are very
Also,
elegant looking.
And then says, no offense to you, Grandius, you're elegantly normal.
as an aside, it is 10:30, and I have to be up for work at like 6:30 tomorrow.
I was just about to end it. Next week we will begin on the beginning of your trek down through from Corona to Wilsaken. We are going to begin halfway through your journey down the passage. Everybody cool with that?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good.